I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate support. Guys, I got a quick announcement to make. Now, you guys, some of you guys seen the post I made on my community post today about me not flying. I'm not going to go. I'm going to cancel my Vegas vacation next week. And I just don't feel safe with the flying. And I gotta be honest with you. I'm doing all these videos and it seems like every day a plane is falling out the sky. I'm not gonna roll the dice like that. I don't gamble like that anyway, but I mean, I wanted to go to Vegas. I like it. It's a nice place, got good food, a lot of things to see and do, but it's not worth that. I got a daughter, you know what I'm saying? I talk about all the time what to look out for and things to watch out and be careful about. I gotta take my own advice. As hard as it is for me to want to not get away, it's not worth it at this time. So, I mean, I was going to do some live streams from there. I hope you guys understand, but that's the case right now. I'm staying behind at this house, you know what I'm saying, in Texas, on the ground. But I want to jump into this news, man. More details have come out for a horrific crime involving this young lady right here. And this is a trans man. I think that's what they call it, a trans man. Sam Norquist, 24 years old or 23 years old, depending on which news outlet you hear from. This transgender man left Minnesota to go and pursue a love interest with a woman that she met online. She was supposed to only be there a little under a month, but never returned home. 4 days ago, her body was found in a field in New York, battered and bruised. And as horrific as that, there are 5 people pictured here, these pieces of crap that are responsible. They're in jail right now with no bond and charged with the murder of Sam Norquist. Under no circumstances do I condone the torture or beating of anybody or abuse of people because they're different from you. I don't feel that at all. More information has come out as far as what was done to this young lady, and it's horrific. Just thinking about it upsets me. Why? Because my oldest son, a lot of people don't know, is transgender. And though, you know, me and him rarely speak, I would be irate if somebody victimized him as they did Miss Sam Norquist. So without further ado, let's jump into this video, and I'm gonna come back and say a couple of things.
Thanks for joining us tonight on Fox 9 and Fox Local. I'm Karen Scullin. We begin tonight with the arrest of 5 people for the murder of a Minnesota transgender man staying in New York. Investigators say he endured prolonged physical and psychological abuse. Well, now his family is in New York trying to pick up the pieces. Fox 9's Leon Purvis joins us now with the update to this awful story. Leon?
Karen, a lot of this is still under investigation. What we do know is that 24-year-old Sam Norquist traveled to the New York Rochester area back in September. He was due back in Minnesota by October 12th. Nobody heard from him since the new year. Now his family is grieving in New York. A Minnesota family from Red Wing is now in New York grieving and learning details of the horrific murder of their loved one, Sam Norquist. Searchers had been looking for Norquist since he was reported missing last Sunday.
Sam's a human being, a beautiful one, and it's just unfortunate that people are that disgusting and that ugly.
Norquist's body was found in a field in Yates County, New York. Investigators saying he had been tortured for weeks with a table, broomsticks, and more until he died.
In my 20-year law enforcement career, this is one of the most horrific crimes I have ever investigated.
Norquist's sister said in a GoFundMe post that he traveled to New York to meet his online girlfriend back in September. He was supposed to fly back to Minnesota on October 12th. The last time his voice was heard by family or friends was on New Year's Day.
We have determined that Sam endured prolonged physical and psychological abuse at the hands of multiple individuals.
Norquist had been staying at Patty's Lodge. New York State Police executed a search warrant there on February 13th.
His body was then transported in an attempt to conceal the crime and was later discovered in a field off Payne Road in the town of Benton, Yates County.
5 people have been arrested and charged with second-degree murder in connection to his death. Right now, we're working to find out the connection between the suspects and Norquist. Investigators haven't ruled out if this was a hate crime. If you'd like to help the family, information will be on our website, fox9.com. Live in the newsroom, Leon Purvis, Fox 9.
Officials share new information surrounding the investigation into a horrific torture and murder. The family of Sam Norquist is grieving tonight. 13 Wham's Daniel Finkelstein brings us the latest update in this story as the community prepares to mourn tomorrow. Daniel, good evening.
Good evening, Stephen. Vigils for 24-year-old Sam Norquist have been scheduled for Monday in the city of Canandaigua. Meanwhile, prosecutors and investigators have shared new information with us today. 4 days since the reported discovery of 24-year-old Sam Norquist's remains, investigators shared new information surrounding the case. A joint statement from Ontario County prosecutors and New York State Police reveals the agencies have no indication the murder was a hate crime at this time. The joint statement elaborates, saying Norquist and his alleged assailants were known to each other, identified as LGBTQ+. And at least one defendant lived with Norquist at the time of the offense. Meanwhile, 5 people face second-degree murder and depraved indifference charges, carrying 15 to 20-year sentences if convicted.
These people that did this to Sam are pure evil. They're not even human. And we will get justice for you, Sam. We will, until, if it takes the last breath out of me, you will have justice.
Norquist's mother sharing immense pain with KARE-TV in Minneapolis. Earlier, authorities called the circumstances surrounding Sam's death a deeply disturbing pattern of abuse, alleging torture and sexual assault before his death.
This is by far the worst homicide investigation that our office has ever been a part of.
Norquist's remains were found in a field in the town of Benton in Yates County.
He had a heart of gold that would hurt anybody. Sam did not deserve this. Nobody deserves this type of torment that he had to endure.
Michelle Pickard, who helped with the initial search for Sam, also heartbroken at the loss.
We will seek justice. We will continue to follow up on the case. I know personally I'll go to every court date, keep them informed, but I do know that Sam has an army behind him.
New York State Governor Kathy Hochul releasing a statement earlier today calling for justice for Norquist. Hochul saying, quote, "The charges against these individuals are sickening and all New Yorkers should join together to condemn this horrific act. We are praying for Sam Norquist's family, community, and loved ones who are experiencing unimaginable grief." Hochul also stating she has directed state police to provide support and resources to the district attorneys as they continue their investigation. Stephen, back to you.
Saying right, man. It's not. And the thing is, you know, on my channel, I try to be as transparent as I can. Regardless of what somebody is or who they are, I want to take that out of this equation. But it does play a role in, I think, what happened to Sam Norquist. And let me explain what I'm saying. Let me read this to you first, because I found this. When this first dropped Saturday, they had a press conference that said nothing. They talked about the person was physically and mentally abused. And as you've seen in the videos I just showed you, they just said she was beaten with a table leg and violated with a broomstick. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I want you to brace yourself because I found out some more stuff. Nobody at any given time should have to go through any of this from somebody they don't like. There's evil and then there's super evil. And this right here is a perfect example. Listen, a criminal complaint obtained by Rochester, New York ABC affiliate WHAM alleged that the suspects sexually assaulted Norquist, which we would think, with a table leg and a broomstick. The complaint further alleges that the suspects subjected Norquist, listen closely, to prolonged beatings by punching, kicking, and striking Norquist with numerous objects, including, but not limited to, sticks, dog toys, rope, bottles, belts, canes, and wooden boards. How messed up is that? That person traveled from Minnesota to New York to be with one girl, had affiliation with other people out there, and she's dead. Now I'm gonna tell you, they don't have no bond. And the reason why they don't have no bond, if you really think about it, is this. Overwhelming evidence when they swept through that house links all of them to the thing. Somebody's talking, and if they're not talking, something has them dead to rights with the connections of the assault and torture of Sam Norquist. That's why they don't have no bond. People are saying this is a hate crime, and yes, this is a hateful crime. And they're saying now that they're not saying it's a hate crime. You could have a hateful act and it might not be a hate crime, because when people say hate crime, they're saying, hey, they hated her because she was different or she was trans. I don't know. Hear me out. Because one of them girls is gay, and then all of them identify as being in the group LGBTQ. I can't say it. There's so many letters. You know what I'm saying? So they all identify with being gay or being some type of trans or being, I don't know what it is. But you feel what I'm saying? And this is the part that's head scratching. Did you look at that apartment she was in, that hotel room? That's a raggedy ass spot. You coming in from out of town, why would you even be there? I think the girl that she was messing with, the ones with the piercings in the face, the weird looking one, that's the one Sam was messing with. She lived there. So when you showed up and seen that a chick lived in a rundown raggedy motel like that, why didn't you leave? Why didn't you leave? But then again, it's just like a guy when he go after a girl and he sees something crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's things that keep them there. Maybe it's the interest of connecting with the person or getting you some or whatever. Either way, it don't matter, but the person should still be alive. And that's the part that's heartbreaking about this whole damn thing. It makes no sense. You beating somebody with dog toys and everything in the house you could grab. How much hate is that? Was that the plan when the person first came down there? Did you think she had money? What was it? In fact, it doesn't even matter. Look how shady and shifty these motherfuckers are. If I seen them, I would have been like, nope. Nope. There's something in the mindset of these 5 people that got them where they are today. And something in her mindset, no offense, where she was trusting in them. This is a sad, sad case. I can't imagine anybody being beat up like that. And then the thing's messed up. They said they called her. But they said New Year's they called her. When they called her, the mother said she picked the phone up and said, hey, I love you. I'll call you right back. What caused that? Here's another thing too. If you notice the situation with what they did to her, if you watch a lot of the stories I do where people are beaten and tortured and all this other stuff, they're dehumanized. She's a girl acting like a dude, right? You got 2 men there. You got 3 women. One of them gay and looked like a dude, the one with the spiky black hair. I'm more than sure, and it'll come out in court, that all of the beating was from the men and all the violating was from the women. Because for some odd reason, it seems like when women go ham on somebody, they always attack the genitals or do something like that. And just hear me out. I don't want y'all to be like, oh, Steve, you sound crazy. Look at some of the stories I do when children are abused or so. It's always an attack on the genitals. I don't know what the psychological ramifications is with that, but for some odd reason, when they attacked her, it was more than just an attack. It was psychological. And that's where they might say the psychological stuff came from. You penetrating somebody with a table leg? What the fuck is wrong with you? Why do that at all? If she wasn't what you thought she was, you could have kicked her out and she could have went back home. And your dumbasses will still be out. Y'all all look like meth addict, crackhead pieces of shit. But it wasn't like that. I don't know what spurned it, and I damn sure don't care. But I do know they need to go. And they need a horrible death, just like they put this woman through. This is sad that nowadays you got 5 people, count them, 5 people, and none of them had no restraint until this woman's heart stopped beating. That's real. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Her family's hurt. My prayers and condolences do go out to her. We can't pick who children are or who they become when they become adults. We either ride with it or we don't. They said she was a good person. I'm riding with that. Under no circumstances should anybody succumb to so much vicious torture. And I'll leave it at that. See you in the next video. Take care.